You ever do something for a video that you instantly regret?
Yeah, me too.
My friend Ethan and I, we run this little vlog where we chase ghost stories. Usually it's just us getting spooked by creaky floorboards. But this time was different. We found this bizarre online giveaway, a free night stay in a decommissioned lighthouse. I'm talking about a place built in the 1800s, sitting all alone on this ragged, storm-beaten piece of coastline. The story behind it was the perfect hook. The last keeper vanished without a trace during a brutal storm. They said he was last seen holding his lantern and his body was never recovered. The local legends claim he's still in there, forever tending his light, guiding phantom ships that never make it to shore. That's the kind of lore we live for. We pulled up just as the sun was setting. The lighthouse was this towering, cracked white cylinder against a bruised purple sky. The ocean was churning below, and the wind was already howling through the rusted, broken metalwork at the top. It looked exactly like every horror movie poster you've ever seen. Inside, the rental part was rustic, to put it nicely. A couple of flimsy beds, one flickering overhead light, and a guest book filled with entries that were probably meant to be jokes, but felt a little too real. Stuff like, heard boots at 2 a.m., keep your eyes down. We laughed it off, chugged some energy drinks, and started setting up our cameras. We put one on a tripod at the base of the winding spiral staircase, another about halfway up, and kept a third one handheld, ready to go. We were in full creator mode, making jokes for the camera, feeling invincible. By 10 o'clock, the weather turned. Thick, heavy clouds rolled in, and rain started hammering against the small, salt-stained windows. The sound of the storm was deafening. We were filming, trying to look scared for the vlog, when suddenly, we both froze. It wasn't the wind, it was a sound from inside the lighthouse. Heavy, rhythmic footsteps coming from the floors above us. A slow, deliberate stomp, 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 like someone in heavy, wet work boots descending the metal staircase. The host had confirmed we were the only ones scheduled to be here. There was no one else for miles. We grabbed our flashlights, our beams slicing through the inky blackness of the stairwell, but they just disappeared into the coiling darkness above. There was nothing there. We whispered back and forth. Was it a prank? An animal? The footsteps stopped. For a terrifying second, there was only the sound of the storm and our own ragged breathing. Then, the steps started again, but this time they were going back up. Moving away from us, ascending towards the very top of the Lighthouse, towards the lantern room, which the host had specifically told us was locked and off-limits for safety reasons. The air grew heavy, thick with the smell of salt water and something else, something cold. Fear was a physical weight in the room. Against our better judgment, we decided to follow. We had to know. We started climbing the spiral stairs, our hands shaking so badly the camera footage was a mess. About halfway up, our breath started to fog in front of us. A sudden, unnatural chill had descended on the stairwell. We reached the landing just below the lantern room. The door was old, made of heavy wood with a small, grimy glass pane. And through that glass we saw it. A strange, flickering orange glow, dancing and moving around inside the sealed-off room. There was no electricity up there. The main lens had been dark for decades. Yet, a light was moving slowly, making lazy loops around the giant dead bulb. And then we heard it again. The grating sound of a boot scraping on metal right next to us. A wave of freezing cold rushed past me, so close I could have sworn someone brushed my shoulder in the narrow passage. That was it. We were done. We scrambled, half falling down the stairs, and slammed the lower door shut, jamming a chair under the handle. As our panic subsided, we noticed something on the floor by the staircase. It was wet. There were muddy boot prints, dragging one after the other, forming a trail of saltwater pools. They led from the base of the stairs, ending abruptly at the wall. No prints leading to the stairs, just away from them. There wasn't a single drop of water from the ceiling, no open doors, no leaks. The prints just started. We spent the rest of the night huddled together, filming everything, too scared to sleep, while the wind screamed like a banshee outside. When the first hint of dull morning light broke through, we were out of there. We grabbed our gear and ran, the tapes being the only proof of what happened. Back home, in the safety of our editing suite, we started reviewing the footage. For the most part, it was what we expected. Shaky camera work, us looking nervously up the stairs, the weird, unexplainable light we saw through the glass. Nothing concrete. Then we got to the last file. It was from the static camera we'd left at the bottom of the stairs. The timestamp read 1:47 a.m. The shot showed us sitting at the table, backs to the staircase, completely oblivious. But if you looked closely at the top of the frame, in the shadows of the upper steps, a dark shape was crouched, silently descending. The footage flickered for a second, and the camera's view shifted, catching a reflection in a piece of glass on the door. In that reflection, the lantern room at the top of the lighthouse was fully lit, and standing just behind us, right in our room, was the figure of a man. He was wearing a heavy old coat and a low-brimmed hat that hid his face. One hand rested on the doorframe, the other gripped a brightly lit lantern. He was just standing there, staring at our reflections, staring right at us. We never heard him. Not a single footstep, not a creak. We didn't even feel a change in the air. He was there and then he was gone. It seems the old keeper is still on duty, still guiding the lost. And maybe, just maybe, he's still recruiting for his endless shift. We spent one night in his tower, and we learned that some lights never, ever go out. The question is, are you brave enough to climb those stairs? Thanks for watching. If you have a story like this, share it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Stay safe out there.